Hello, everyone. A wonderful good day to all of you, and welcome to day number 3 of the A4Q World Congress. We are ready for yet another exciting session, and I would like to introduce to you Riou du Cosquer. Eric brings 18 years of involvement in IT project as developer, tester, test manager to the table, and will today talk about the next version of the ISTQB Foundation Level Syllabus today. So I hope you enjoy it, and I will give the word over to Eric.
Good, thank you very much. Hello, everybody. First of all, I would like to say a big thank you to A4Q for this fantastic event, which is really impressive and working quite well. I'm very, very happy to be speaking at this event. So welcome to my presentation, which is about the ISTQB Foundation Level Syllabus. What will the next version look like? It's a little bit like a difficult question, but actually this question is very, very easy. What will the next version of the Foundation Level Syllabus look like? Very easy, and I'm going to give you right now the answer. The answer is I don't know. So perhaps I should modify a little bit the title of my presentation, and it would be better like this. How are we going to shape the next version of this foundation level syllabus? Before moving forward, I'm going to briefly introduce myself. So as you know, I love, yes, I do love software quality and software testing, and I'm involved in a couple of associations dedicated to software quality and testing. For example, IQBBA for business analysis, IREB for requirements engineering, of course, the ISTQB for software testing. I'm a former secretary, and I'm currently the chair of the foundation level working group. That's why I will be speaking today about this foundation level. And as you can see, or at least hear with my French accent, I'm located in France, and I also belong to the French Software Testing Qualifications Board. And I'm also involved in TMMI, you know, the TMMI association, which has created a model to assess test organization. And last but not least, I work for a small company called Certila, where I'm in charge of organizing assessments and also training courses for the ISTQB scheme, for example. So today I'll be talking with you about the ISTQB, first of all, and also about the next version of the foundation level syllabus. I'm going to start with a couple of figures to give you some kind of background of the current situation. Then I will briefly explain how it works from the inside, because I know that the ISTQB is often considered as a black box. If you're not deeply involved, you don't know exactly how it works inside. So I'm going to remind you, or to present to you, the internal structure of the ISTQB. A few words about the last versions of the foundation level syllabus. Then I will detail the main components we will have to develop to build a new syllabus. And at the end of the presentation, I will summarize with you the main steps to achieve this goal, to answer the need to have a new version of the syllabus. You will probably have some questions for me at the end. And actually, I've already listed a couple of questions that have been often addressed in the past months. So regarding the figures I wanted to share with you, the first one is 1982. 1982, that's when Boris Beitzer wrote his famous software testing techniques book. And I'm talking about that just to remind you that software testing is not something new. We've been talking about software testing for more than 40 years, so it's not new, and that's amazing, because very often when I come to a new project or new company, I have the feeling that people think that software testing is new. No, it's definitely not new. Next figure, 1989, that's the year of the first certifications dedicated to software testers, organized at that time by the ISEB Association. So again, software testing certifications are not new. 1998, we already had some certificates delivered to the software testers. 2001, the Agile Manifesto. Same story. When we come to a company and start talking about Agile, sometimes we have the feeling that it's new. And I'm often told, yes, we are trying a new method, which is called Scrum for the Agile. No, it's not new. 20 years old. So it's not something new. It's part of the view, part of the process. 2002, that's the date of creation of the ISTQB. So the association will soon be 20 years old. I hope we'll have the opportunity to celebrate that all together with the ISTQB family. So again, same comment, ISTQB certifications are not something new. 2002, we had the first certifications. And that's important to have that in mind. Other figures, 66, that's the number of ISTQB member boards. Actually, the ISTQB is a non-profit organization, and the members are not individuals, but they are entities, non-profit organization. And today we have 66 member boards. What does it mean? It means that most of the countries are covered by the ISTQB. It also means that the product we are delivering have to be compliant with the expectation from all over the world, which make it quite challenging. More than 1 million ISTQB exams organized worldwide. That's really a lot. And I can tell you that the ISTQB certification scheme is one of the most popular certification in IT. So that's also good to know that. More than 330 ISTQB accredited providers. So the providers are the companies delivering ISTQB training courses based on the syllabus, based on the program defined by the ISTQB working groups. So these providers will also be part of the work to improve the foundation level syllabus. It's quite a lot. 17. Can you imagine 17? Today we have 17 different ISTQB syllabi and exams. So it's possible, if you want to have many certificates, it's possible to have 17 ISTQB certificates on your desk. And today we'll be talking about I don't know if I should say the most important one, but at least it's the first one, the one which is absolutely mandatory, the foundation level certified tester certificate. Okay, so I think that to think about the update of the foundation level syllabus, it's very important to know, or at least to have an idea about how it works inside. How does it work inside the ISTQB? And actually, it's a very large organization with various stakeholders, and I will shortly introduce the most important one. In the middle of the picture, in red, you have the ISTQB GA, the General Assembly, which is actually a group of all the member board representatives. And this group will be all together deciding, managing the most important things for the ISTQB. On the top left, we have mentioned the training providers. I spoke about them previously. We've got several hundred training providers in the world. They will be implementing training courses to cover the ISTQB syllabus. On the top right, we have the exam providers. So they are independent. They are not inside the ISTQB, but they are closely related to the ISTQB. And these exam providers will be in charge of creating and organizing exams to deliver the certificate. At the bottom, we have the executive committee, which is a small group of 4 people in charge of really managing, monitoring, controlling the ISTQB association. And as it is today, I'm very proud to be a member of the French board, because the ISTQB president is Mr. Olivier Denot. He's not French, but he belongs to the French board. So that's the current president of the ISTQB. In gray, you can see the working groups, the ISTQB working groups, which are groups of people coming from all over the world, from different member boards. And these people are willing to contribute to the ISTQB, either on marketing process aspects or on very technical topics. So we need both, actually. We need some technical experts on testing, and we also need people with other skills like management, marketing, and so on. As it is today, I'm the chair of the foundation level working group. So you can see on this picture that the foundation level working group is one of the working group of the ISTQB. And this group is now in charge of updating, managing the version of the foundation level syllabus, which is, as I told you before, the first step to enter the ISTQB certification scheme. That's why it's so important. What we are going to do within the group with this update is not new. It's not the first time an update is going to happen. The first version was 1998. Then we had within the ISTQB a first update in 2007, a second update in 2011, a third update in 2018, and the next one will be for, I would love to say 2021, but I'm afraid it would be a little bit too optimistic. So it's very likely to be 2022 for the next version of the ISTQB syllabus. So to update the syllabus, we will have to deliver a couple of work products. It's not only about one document. We have to tackle different issues, and we have to deliver different components. The first part, which is very, very important, is called the business outcomes. So we need to have a list of business outcomes for the syllabus. And these business outcomes are defined to answer the question, why this syllabus? Which benefits can we expect to have? So it's particularly dedicated to managers to explain the added value of that kind of certification. So for example, one of the business outcome listed today is that thanks to this ISTQB certification, we will promote efficient and effective communication by using a common vocabulary for software testing. So that's the first stone, the business outcomes. Then we will have to consider the LOs, the learning objectives. It's about the question, what will I learn? What will I learn if I study the syllabus, if I take the exam, if I attend a training course or not? What will I learn? What will I have to use on the field after the training course once I'm certified? I can give you a basic example with the chapter 4 of the current foundation level syllabus, where it's about test design techniques. So one of the learning objectives is that after this course, you will be able to, if we take the second one in the list, you will be able to apply boundary value analysis to derive test cases from given requirements. So that's the learning objectives. So that's very important, and they need to be coherent with each other: business outcomes, learning objectives. Then, of course, we have to define and we will have to update the content of the syllabus. As it is today, and as you may know if you are already ISTQB certified, we've got 6 chapters, from fundamentals of testing to tool support for testing. And the content is about the knowledge and the expertise. So the content is really about testing. And in the content of the syllabus, you have a detailed explanation about the most important methods and techniques you need to know for software testing. So that's the content. So we spoke about business outcomes, learning objectives, contents, and we also have to speak a little bit about the exam questions. As you know, to get certified, you need to take an exam. You can practice with sample exams delivered by the ISTQB. And these exam questions have to cover the learning objectives of the syllabus. It's a little bit like the traceability between requirements and test cases on a project, or the link between the description of a user story and the acceptance criteria. That's traceability. We also have this concept of traceability between learning objectives and sample exam questions. So at the end, we will have to work on these 4 components: BOs, LOs, content, sample exam questions for the foundation level syllabus. But it's not going to be that easy because we have to deal with 17 syllabi. Of course, the task of the group I'm managing is to update the foundation level syllabus, but it's impossible to do that by ourselves. We will need to cooperate with all the other ISTQB working groups to ensure that at the end we have an overall consistency between all the syllabi. That's very, very important. So how are we going to proceed? The first step, which is very, very important, is to involve contributors. And we need to have a lot of contributors. Of course, it would probably be much easier to start and to move forward with a small group of people. But since this update is very important, very critical for the ISTQB, we need to get as many ideas, as many contributions as possible. So first of all, and the group is already made of many, many people from different countries. First of all, we will have to create a larger group of contributors. We will take people from the ISTQB, of course, from the other working groups. We will also need to have some exam providers representatives. That's very important because they will be supporting the creation of the learning objective. They will be thinking about the possibility to create questions against the learning objectives. We will also put in the loop some already certified testers to get their feedback about the current version of the syllabus. We will also involve some training providers, representatives, because they will have to implement the training course material, they will have to deliver training courses, so their opinion and their advice will be really, really interesting. And last but not least, we will need the support of the member board. And on this point, you can contribute. That's very, very easy. Don't be shy. We need you. We need your feedback, your contribution, and you will be welcome. It's very easy. The best way is just to get in touch with your local ISTQB member board. You will easily find the list on the istqb.org website. Very easy for you. You just have to click. You will be in touch with your local member board, and then you will just have to just say that you're willing to help. And there will be something to do for everyone. It can be just a review. It can be writing sample exam questions. It can be creating some content if you have a specific expertise. So you will be welcome. Let's contribute to the next version. And we're going to start shortly. So that's urgent. Then step 2, we will start, and that was also mentioned during the last ISTQB General Assembly. We will start from the beginning. We will start to review the current business objectives. And for each business objective, we will have to think about the following question. What shall we do with it? Keep as it is, update, remove, and we may also identify some new business objectives. So that's going to be the starting point. What is the added value of the foundation level syllabus? Then we will have to do the same kind of task with the learning objectives. Each learning objective will have to be carefully reviewed and considered by as many people as possible. Keep as it is, update, remove, shall we create a new one, and so on. Then, once we will have created the first list of learning objectives, we will have to check whether or not it's coherent with the other syllabi. And we will have a particular look at the Agile Tester foundation level. Why? Because we are very likely to introduce more Agile content at the foundation level. So we need to ensure that it remains consistent. We need to identify the possible duplicates between the two syllabi. So that's very important. And we have started this work together with my colleague, Michael Pilaten, who is managing this Agile working group. And we will also have to closely cooperate with the advanced level working group, particularly regarding the test management and test analyst syllabus. For example, at the foundation level, we address the test planning activity, the test management activities. It's also covered at the test management advanced level. So we need to see how to manage that. And as far as the advanced level test analyst is concerned, here again, we will have to be sure that there is no overlap. For example, the test design techniques are introduced at the foundation level. They are elaborated a bit more at the advanced test analyst level. So we will have to check this, and we may identify some overlap. We may consider that a couple of learning objectives are not at the right place. So it's going to be a difficult but very, very interesting activity. At the end, a first milestone will be a first new list of learning objectives for the next version of the foundation level syllabus. As it is today, we've got 62 learning objectives. in the syllabus. 15 K1, 40 K2, 7 K3, K1, K2, K3. What is it about? It's about a knowledge level. For example, with a key 1, you just need to remember a standard. For example, you need to remember that yes, a specific standard like ISO 29119 is dedicated to software testing documentation. And on the contrary, at K3, you are really supposed to be able to use in practice. You are supposed to have a practical use of a specific concept like designing test cases with boundary value analysis. And that's very important because based on these learning objectives, we will have a way to estimate the right duration for the corresponding course. And we will also have a way to ensure the right balance between theory and practice in the syllabus. So this first deliverable will be very, very important, and it will have to be checked by most of the ISTQB stakeholders to be sure that it's fine, that it's aligned. Because what you need to know is that this scheme, the one you can see on your screen right now, is not frozen. It's evolving. It's constantly being improved. For example, in the advanced level branch, you can see that there is a new theme which is addressed, which is the Agile Test Leadership at Scale. So it's very important. So we need to ensure that the next version of the foundation level syllabus will fit into this big picture of certification. Okay, so once we have the business outcomes, the learning objectives, we will start creating sample exam questions. You may be surprised to hear that we will be trying to create sample exam questions before writing the content update, but that's very important. It's a bit like writing acceptance criteria on a user story. If you're not able to write acceptance criteria, it may signify that the description of the user story is a bit ambiguous. With the learning objectives, that's the same. If you're not able to write sample exam question, it's probably because the learning objective is not clear enough. And then the content. So as you can see, it's going to be a lot of work. It's going to be a very, very interesting work. I'm not able, as I told you at the beginning, I'm not able to tell you today what the next version will look like. What I can tell you is that this work will be managed very, very carefully. It's going to be very interesting. It's going to be achieved with the support of all the ISTQB stakeholders. We will implement a continuous communication and cooperation process within the ISTQB in order to have regular opportunities to get feedback and advice from other working groups and members. So it's going to be challenging and interesting. Before I give you the opportunity to raise additional questions, I just wanted to share with you some of the questions we have already collected at the ISTQB. So, for example, first one is from a training provider. As a training provider, will I have to update my course material for accreditation for the new version of the foundation level syllabus? Yes, I think it's not fully confirmed today, but yes, for sure, the answer will be yes. You will have to update the course material, and it's probably going to be, yes, an important update. Second question, will my ISTQB certified tester certificate remain valid once the new version is published? Yes, for sure. If you are already ISTQB foundation level certified, it's still valid until the end of your life. It's like a tattoo, it's valid until the end of your life. Okay, a third question we had, are you going to introduce new topics such as artificial intelligence at the foundation level? I don't know. I'm not sure about this. What I know is that we already have a lot of content at the foundation level. So it may be difficult to find room for new topics. And the question we will have to keep in mind is it something someone really needs to start working as a tester? If the answer is yes, we will for sure consider to add this new topic. If the answer is no or not sure, we will not add a new topic. So we will have to be reasonable. And it's not an issue because there is also the advanced level and other opportunities within the scheme to introduce new topics. Another example of question we had is about the exam. Will the exam still be a multiple choice question exam, or are you going to introduce a written assignment? So for this one, I can answer yes, it's going to be MCQ, again, multiple choice question. It could make sense to change that, but that would be too difficult. And we are convinced that the examination system we have today is efficient, that the results are good. There is a good value for the exam. So for sure, it's going to remain a multiple choice question exam. And the last question I share with you about the duration of the associated course. So first of all, I just remind you that it's not mandatory at all to attend a training course before taking an ISTQB exam. Of course, there is a real added value, but you can also do it by yourself. But we have to estimate the right duration for the associated training course. Today, we've got a 3-day course for the foundation level. And this duration is really based on the content of the syllabus. It's closely related to the learning objectives. So if at the end of the update, we have the same quantity, I would say, the same amount of learning objective, the duration will not change. If we have more content, more learning objectives, the duration may be a bit more. And if we have less learning objectives, the duration will be reduced. But it's really too early today to answer this question because it will be based on the updated list of learning objectives of the new syllabus. Okay, so I'm at the end of the presentation. So I hope you got some clarification about what's going to happen and how it's going to happen. And if we have a way to take some of your questions, I will be happy to answer right now. Otherwise, you can drop me an email at my ISTQB email address, which is displayed on the screen.
Thank you so much, Eric. I really enjoyed the presentation, and we did have a lot of visitors, a lot of likes from all over the world. There's no certain questions that I can see at the moment, but there's one thing. Will you be in the Congress Hall for the rest of the day? So I will share the link and then the people can meet you there.
Yes, perfect.
Yes, so we can do that. So any questions regarding you and your presentation, they can be discussed with you over there, or you just drop Eric an email address. Just share the link for GatherTown. So on GatherTown, you just make your little avatar and then you can meet Eric over there. So yeah, there's been a lot of likes for the presentation. I think people are very looking forward to this. I'm actually quite overwhelmed by the amount of syllabi and the fast development of this whole thing. So I'm really looking forward to what the future brings. And I can just say thank you so much for joining the A4Q Congress, Eric.
Thank you very much for inviting me. And
yeah, and then I hope you enjoy the rest of the day, enjoy the rest of the Congress. And again, you can meet Eric in the Congress Hall, and I shared the link in the comment box. So farewell, Eric, and hope to see you again soon.
Sure. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Right.
Goodbye, everyone,
Bye-bye.
and thank you.
Thank you. Bye.